Well, it's still going on. They're still following me, harassing me. I got to thinking. I was talking to this one officer online, and he said, well, he used to be an officer, he just retired. He said, you don't realize any officer that doesn't help you, they're legally responsible. In past years ago, after O.J. Simpson, any officer that doesn't help you, it's a federal law. They're held responsible. I got to also thinking with and he's asked me if I had a restraining order. And I said, well, actually, I do. It's actually in my divorce. Judge Timothy Ludick wrote it up that my ex cannot interfere in my life. He can't have anybody else interfere. He can't interfere in my children, my relationship with my children, my grandchildren, or any part of my life, or have anybody else. The punishment is like 6 months the first time, like 5 years afterwards, and like 7 to 10 after. He's not allowed to have these people. I was talking to him. He said, well, he's not allowed to have people follow you around. They can't even be associated with him and say stuff to you. No, he can't. He can go to jail for it. It's that bad. These people are playing with hell. There is no such thing as a court order to watch somebody. There's no such thing as police or agencies being in your home but the threat of life. I've already did the laws of how it's not admissible, and it's like a 3 to 5 year sentence for any officer even put their name on it. And then they, like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville said, Portage County couldn't work a case against you your whole life. It's a conflict of interest. There's a judge's family involved. They would go to jail 1 to 10 years and up to $1 million fine. But yeah. And Judge Pete and his son that's running it, because he's a spent image of him, uh, for Michelle, his daughter, is not funny. Impersonating federal officers, having people Photoshop and drug me up before and have Dave do it, then defends me on tape. That's where it's rich. Last night I was playing all the tapes and my family defended me. Dave defended me. I went outside and some guy yelled like, none of this is funny. No, it's not. It's not funny when a retired judge can corrupt some undercover police to stalk you in your home, Photoshop you, drug you up, and then after you call the FBI, impersonate FBI agents and break when they're breaking in, stabbing you with needles or using sodium pentothal. I was talking to that retired officer. He said that stuff will make you believe anything. He said, there's drugs. They can drug you, tell you to go do something, and you'll go do it and have no memory. They're the amnesia drugs. You're sleepwalking. And he said they're that bad. I know they are. I got horribly abused with a state case that will at the Canton FBI started September 27th, 18, and under the federal law where that heavyset cop talked to Dave about those people threatening me, that made Will's case legal. That's the only time you can be in somebody's home. It's illegal to be in somebody's home and to be illegal to look or listen, and they don't ever want to tell an FBI agent they were stalking me in my home. They were participating in anything before because they would have to lock them up. It's domestic terrorism. Domestic terrorism is a group of people furthering their ideology with threats to human life, harm to human life, and breaking the U.S. Government laws. This is domestic terrorism. You have a right to privacy, a right to remain quiet, a right to legal representation, a right to a fair court trial, bail and bond. This is domestic terrorism. And drugging me up and cut me up and having the cops rape me and selling police logins. This is an ungodly, sick case. And they run around like they can get me in trouble. And they spread their hate crime of photoshopping and drugging me up. And like I said, one lady in her group came down January 1st to 25th of this year, Circle K gas station, Fulton Road, 6th Street. I'm using the restroom 7 to 9 in the morning. Me and my group can verify we made a big mistake being in her home. She's never said she did anything wrong before, and we came down to verify it. And she was the shower scene lady. They're so altered where I had giant bruises, hand marks, and a cut on my leg. They said they were abusing me under drugs. And her group didn't see it. Like they told Ed at the Oakland apartment December 9, 21, 4 p.m. All the tapes before were them, not me. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. The guy at the Hunger Task Force, white man, bald, dark eyes, distributing food on 9th Street. In the back, used to work the case, said they always knew the tapes before were them, not me, so they never said a word. And then I have the whole list of Dave drugging me, church people, the boys in the courthouse where I had bruises. 4, I called the FBI, and then bruises afterwards. None of this is funny. And they need to realize they're playing with hell. And there is even state governments officials that if they even mention a tape before in a fake court order, watch me when the cops laugh at that. There's no such thing of no one being in your home. No one. It's illegal to be in somebody's home, except for those special protected light cases set up correctly, where they use people's low IQs. Oh, we had a court order watch. There's no such thing. It's police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Failure to notify for initiating and speaking to the other person in the home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. Who do you report, police or agencies, for a surveillance of you in your home? Department of Justice, FBI, ICE, and local police department. 4th Amendment right to privacy, illegal search and seizure. These people may live in the twilight zone, but I live in the United States of America. There's laws. If the police have a problem with you, they come knock on your door. They can ask you to ask questions. You don't have to talk to them. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. If you start talking, it gets deep. They have to give you your Miranda rights. Okay? Then they have enough. They subpoena you to a prosecutor with an attorney you can't afford, and one will be appointed to you. You still don't have to talk to them. You have a right not to incriminate yourself, where they'll subpoena you to in front of an unbiased judge, and they'll argue out if it's even admissible. Okay? And then you get charges. Okay? And then you get subpoenaed to a court trial, found guilty or innocent. Nobody mentioned a word. So do I have charges against me, or is that fucking shit? It's fucking shit. They did come up and tell me they found my ex-daughter-in-law lying where they had everybody follow around. And they made up a bunch of mean games to pretend. They found all the kids lying in 2018 because they wanted Auntie Michelle, the Judge Pete's daughter, to get the house. Let's see, I was found innocent in 18. My whole family spoke highly of me. It is documented. They're playing with hell. And what's going to happen is they are going to get Dave locked up, because he's not allowed to have anyone ever interfere in my life. And it's court ordered and signed by Judge Timothy Ludick. It's part of my divorce. Yeah. That he is not to interfere in my life or have anybody else. He's not to interfere in my kids' relationship or my grandchildren, any part of my family or my life ever again. Or he would put him in jail. I looked him right in the eye and said, I put people in jail like you all the time. I want you to realize that. Okay? So where they follow me around, having people scream outside, my clients say stuff in stores about their dirty cop raping me between July and September 19th. Do you know it's even illegal for Ravenna not to reach out to me? There's called a law of justice for victims of torture and terrorism act. If an officer or anybody with any title hurts you, federal law, you don't even have to sue them. Their legal department should have said, we want that case. Any of the cops helped drug her? Cut her up? One of our officers raped her? Oh, over 50. They sold a login to the police investigation. Will started at the Canton FBI. Protected light custody. And it's common knowledge that one of their cops raped me, they drugged me, and Judge Pete's son that spit an image of him, ordering everybody around, and he ordered the chipping. Yeah, that Ravenna needs to be getting this chip out, and I don't die for Michelle and impersonating federal officers.